Alright, here we go. Another Payday 2 video for you guys. And this one is a bit different, and I have not done this one in a while. But a few things before we start this. Yes, I am using a mic, though it's my webcam mic that I'm currently using. There is no sound on the TV, or monitor I should say. So there's no point in having the headset on. I'll probably just do it for the outros for now. But I just thought, hey, I'll try and do it this way. The webcam is pointed down, so the mic is facing towards me, hopefully. And I did an audio test, which was really just 4 minutes of me saying, hello, another Payday 2 video. So, yeah. Anyways, and before we get into this is a series that I used to do called Payday 2 DLC I Think You Should Buy. This is more of a series for Payday 2 where I talk about DLC that is worth buying and, you know, just worth buying basically. So, but before we start this, I want to get into a few things. First, the cards that you get when you join the community are only I only recommend those for like the lower levels. I'm not entirely sure if I point this out in the other ones, but never use the cards on murky water guys. The shurikens are infinitely better because they have a higher damage. So yeah. Second, let's see, the DLC, the two DLCs that I praised for a long time, and still do kind of, were Gauge Weapon Pack 1 and Gauge Mod Courier Pack. Now, the reason why I say this is because the Gauge Weapon Pack 1 has infinitely now become useless. The reason why I'm saying that, I don't know, it might not be useless because of the grenade case asset. I mean, you might need that, but I don't know. Probably, but it might be still needed. But where I'm talking about this is that it was the first entry of frag grenades in the Payday universe, basically, into the series. And so that was a must-have because it helps stop bulldozers, and it's like, I think, the best throwable in the game. But that's just my opinion. Moving on from that, Overkill has recently actually added a community grenade to the game, so making this DLC pretty much useless, I guess. I don't know, I'm still thinking you still need the grenade case, so it's worth buying if you're going to use throwables, which you probably are. But yeah, still hold up to Mod Courier Pack as the best DLC in my opinion. Pretty much any like weapon modifications, like say the Butcher mod pack or the free one, I guess just a lot of the mod packs are worth getting because they help you with your guns. That's usually where I say DLC should be put. So the reason why I haven't done this series in a long while is because, well, I'm not entirely sure if I even explained this in the other video, which I probably should have looked. This is a 3-minute video and we're already missing the purpose. 4-minute now. The reason why I didn't do another one is because it was only 2 DLCs and I felt like that'd be kind of short. So we're going to do all of them because I don't know, I think it'd be kind of fun, and I just kind of wanted to get this out of the way and know that, you know, I needed to complete this. So we're going to start off with the Yakuza Pack. Now, the Yakuza Pack came shortly after the Ninja Pack, I think, maybe, I don't know. And it was the entry, this was Jiro, or Hiro, however you want to pronounce his name, entry into the game. So yeah, a bunch of stuff there. So we're just going to go into the about this content. So you get a new playable character called Hiro or Jiro. He lost his son and now he has to go find him, which we're not going to get into his story. And when I mean by that, no, I mean literally, we have not, like, there's nothing about his story so far. This character came out in 2015, and we still haven't found his son yet. Unbelievable. Anyways, moving on from that, there's the Yakuza perk deck, which is an odd perk deck, to say the least. It's basically the Berserker skill perk. Yeah, I don't know. We only do this in one take. I'm not doing it anymore. Basically, the Berserker perk, where the lower your health is, the more damage you do, and it basically just helps with that skill, but you need that skill in order to actually make the Yakuza perk deck work. Introducing the Micro Uzi, not a bad gun. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's just a Micro Uzi. It's good for stealth. It used to be like one of the highest stealth weapons you can get, but now they reduced it. Attachments for I'm pretty sure only for the gun, but I think you can get some on some SMGs. I'm not entirely sure. Moving on from that, we have the melee weapon, the katana, which really only belonged to samurais, I guess, but hey, I'm not an expert. So this used to be the prize jewel. The reason why you got this this DLC was just for the katana. The damage and just pretty much all the stats from the original one has been reduced. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, but it just used to be the best weapon in the game. Now it's been reduced. And you didn't get any masks, so. Is this a pay to win or a need to buy DLC? No. Reason being is because... Oh, Ness apparently wants it. Reason being is just, it's not... I don't find it useful. I can't find anything for the Yakuza perk deck. I can't find anything for the Micro Uzi. I can't... The only thing I would say worth getting is the katana. That's just my personal thing. I don't really like SMGs that much anymore. And I barely use the Yakuza perk deck. Like, I had a build idea for it, and it didn't work because Yakuza is more of a... It should be called Samurai, in my opinion, rather than Yakuza, but that's just me. The reason being is because when I saw this, I was thinking, you know, it'd be cool because then I could have a... Yakuza, I find them very silent and deadly. So, you know, they're basically around that region mafia. Hopefully I do not get killed by any of them. No offense. I'm not trying to send you any offense. I'm sure you are wonderful. But okay, moving on before anything bad happens. Yeah, I just don't find it a... I think the Yakuza really... Because what I thought the Yakuza perk deck would have been more of like, you do more damage if you're at a lower health, like a lower concealment too. Like if I was at a low concealment dodge build, but that's not what it is. And I've been dabbling around thinking of being like, you know what if I did a build like a samurai build? That's been an idea for a while. Noli has that idea for a while too, but with all the updates, I don't think anybody has real time to implement this one. So, moving on from this, if I had to rate this, I give it probably a... since it's a lower DLC, if it's a 5-star, I'd probably give it maybe 3, I guess, maybe 2.5, just because I'm not a huge fan of the character. Though I will say it's interesting for him to speak only in Japanese, but I don't like, right, if you're going through First World Bank and they're delivering the message, he delivers it in Japanese or Chinese, I'm sorry, around that region. but he delivers it in his own language, right? Like, how is anyone in the entire bank supposed to know what he's saying? It's just, it doesn't make any sense to me, but, yeah. I find the Yakuza perk deck, I can't find anything, like, useful for it, so that's two stars down. Or, well, I don't know, maybe like a medium star for this one, I don't know. But, another star down. The Micro Uzi, medium star, I guess, I don't know, I don't find it as useful, so I'd probably give it maybe a 2 stars. Hero, 2 stars. This one, 1 star. 3 stars, and then that. I don't know, like, how to rate this system, but yeah, I don't find this a very useful perk deck or character pack. So moving on from that, if this thing can load. Moving on to the next one, which is the Gauge Chivalry pack. Everybody, you ready for this? Yeah, you ready for this one? This DLC, this specific DLC, was the one that everybody lost their minds. And if you're wondering why I say that, it's because it says mixed. This was one of the few DLCs I, as a person in Payday 2, recently saw everyone thought it was awful. I mean, I didn't really like the Ninja Pack, and I didn't really like the Yakuza Pack. Oh, actually, I take that back. I did like the Yakuza Pack, but now it's useless. I didn't really like the Ninja Pack, and I didn't really like the Barbecue Pack. You know, I'll say that. But everyone else did, so I was like, yeah, so that's my own personal opinion. This was the one DLC that almost every single community member, almost, thought was the worst DLC. It has been almost acclaimed as the worst DLC. Now, why do I say that? Why do I say that? Well, let's get into it, shall we? Now, I'm not gonna say, right, here's the thing about the Gauge Chivalry pack before we get into anything. There is Goat Simulator. Keep that in mind. Gauge Chivalry pack, I will give a pass in terms of story. And you're probably saying, like, story, what are you talking about? You know, it's just basically back in the old days of, like, medieval times. Like, that makes sense, you know. Goats don't... Okay, moving on. So, moving on from that, you have the English bow, you got the javelins, you got the light crossbow, you got the heavy crossbow, and you got the melee weapons, and you get a bunch of other stuff, you know. It's so fun. The thing about bows, I've always found bows useless because there's no real pickup rate, to my known knowledge right now. Like, if you go over to a cop and he has ammo, you can't pick up his ammo as, hey, that's an arrow. Yes, it's not realistic for, you know, a cop to be carrying an arrow, but in a game where, you know, I can take as many like, I can take so many bullets in me and still live, and I can get yelled at to be picked up. We throw realistic out the window pretty much, but yeah. So I've never been a fan of any of the bows. So crossbows, still not. I barely use any of these. The javelins, melee weapon. Like, the thing about this pack, right? The thing about this pack is that should it be paid DLC? Probably not. Probably not. The reason why I say that is because this DLC has nothing really to offer. Like many of the other DLCs I've mentioned, you know, they have like something that makes them special, and you know, something that you know, worth buying. This one, I don't find anything worth buying. In my personal opinion, I don't find anything worth in this DLC. So, you know, in almost every game, Gauge Chivalry was giving free updates. I know Killing Floor had a free update for Gauge Chivalry where they just had a character and a melee weapon. That was simple. But I really think Overkill, and you know, even Chivalry did it free. They added 4 Payday masks and emblems and symbols and team patterns and such. They even did it for free. If you join whatever community, or if you own the game. Payday, Overkill, Starbreeze, 505 Games at the time wanted it to be a DLC. Now, I'm not going to hate because, hey, you know, Payday 2 DLC helps the developers get money. I'll buy it if there's something worthwhile. It's just nothing in here interests me. Like, if they took more time, maybe, but, and even, like, I was excited when I heard about this game, when I saw the javelin, when whoever, the Dallas from the past throws it at the cloaker in the future, and then it just sticks in his head. I thought that was cool, but there's nothing really in this DLC worth buying, so I'd probably give it a 1, a 2. I give it a 2 because these masks, if you go on LastBullet, there are mods to actually get these masks replaced with the ones from Chivalry. So, also that's a cool pattern, but yeah, and the achievements are not even that well. Like, there's one to kill a bunch of bulldozers, I think, with the sword, and there's one where the Knights at the Round Table, like, these achievements, I just don't find, like, this was really when it's been called downhill. And the reason why I'm not going to bash this too much and say, you know, I really do think this should have been free, but I'm not going to say, like, because I was not overly hyped about it. It's a DLC. It's kind of like, hey, you know, we want to have fun DLC. I still don't think it should have been a paid DLC, but I'm not going to say it's bad. Honestly, I just don't think it's worth the content. I'm not going to say it's, like, bad as in, you know, like, oh, I hate Overkill for ever making this. Because that's pretty much where everyone else was. Saying, oh, you know, I expected this axe and the longsword to be so overpowered to kill all the cloakers and bulldozers. Like, no. No. This just looks like a fun DLC if you want to mess around with your friends. Not a DLC you expect to have a militia. I'm pretty sure I said that word wrong, but I don't care. I just don't understand. So, moving on from that, I can't even say they're doing in Shadow Raid. Like, what? So, moving on from that, we get to the Point Break heist. This is pretty much after all the stuff from now. Just to mention, during the Gage Chivalry Pack, after it was Crime Fest, 2015's Crime Fest, mind you, the year of the Black Market update, the update that almost everybody quit the game out of. They uninstalled, they threw their Payday masks away. They even used the loot bag that you get at the Payday 2 merch store to throw all their stuff in and then throw it away. You know, just the update, the Crime Fest that everybody flipped, you know, which I'm still not going to say it was that bad, but it could have been better. It was certainly, in my opinion, it was certainly better than last year's, to be honest. But that's because last year's, 2014's Crime Fest was just kind of like, it was just starting, so I'm not going to fully hate on it, but we were looking for a rising hope, something to be risen from the ashes of Payday, to bring us something amazing, and that would be the Point Break heists, with the Bodie character, which I will be also adding into this DLC because it should be added. So, the thing about the Point Break heist is that it adds 2 heists that everybody pretty much loves, especially Beneath the Mountain, but personally, I like jumping out of planes, so, yeah. So let's get right into it, shall we? So moving on from this, new contact, locked, he's stupid. Moving on from that, 2 all-new heists. the Birth of the Sky, and then there's Beneath the Mountain. Birth of the Sky was basically you throwing money out of a plane, and then you fall down into a small town. There's like a little Route 66 diner. There's a car shop. There's a gas station. There's a warehouse. I don't know. And you have to find those 4 bundles of cash and basically send them back up to Locke. Now, the reason why I like this one is just because of how fun it is to jump out of a plane and then, mess around in the game, or in the map. There is a few bugs, like you can spawn out of stuff. Like, I was behind the gas station, there's a wall there, and apparently a shield pushed me outside the wall, and then I fell into the abyss, and then I ended up in the sewers. I think that was a video I had. I think I deleted it, but yeah. Yeah, so that happened. But they've also added, and there, of course, the Overkill really doesn't care about the glitch packs anymore, in my opinion. So I actually found one in a package that you have to go to find. Like, it's just ridiculous. So, moving on from that. There are rings in the heist for an achievement. There are multiple achievements within these heists. And Birth of the Sky is just kind of like a fast-paced, drop down, get out of there, quick thing. You know what I'm saying? Not Birth of the Sky. Beneath the Mountain. Which one was I taught? Oh my god. The one that I was just talking about was Birth of the Sky, if I got names mixed up. This one that we're about to talk about is Beneath the Mountain. Now, in terms of which story order, I have no idea. I would have to look that up in further research, but hey, that's just a thing. Beneath the Mountain, the reason why... Oh, actually, we could just scroll down. Apparently it doesn't want to tell me. Okay, moving on from that. So, Beneath the Mountain, the reason why everybody loves Beneath the Mountain is because it used to be one of the hardest, and may still be one of the hardest heists to do on Death Wish. Maybe. The reason being is because you have to set up a drill, or it's not even a drill, a bomb to blow open the gates while everything is shooting at you. There's snipers, you're busting in, and once you blow up the door, you rush in. There might be a turret to shoot you. Then you have to find a blowtorch and a keycard to then blowtorch the gate. Then you have to go to put a keycard in, and there's like some computer stuff. But once you've gotten down into the basement or ground zero level, that's a Metal Gear reference, there's artifacts, there's bombs, there's prototypes of stuff, and you need to go down there and find 2 loot at least, 4 at max, by going through god names of like Zeus, Ares, Poseidon, I don't know, the random names, and you go through those names, and you unlock certain gates. You may hack one, you may have to blowtorch it, there may be C4, you know. But while you're doing that, like, the cops will try and stop you from actually doing it. They'll turn off the computers. Just so much chaos. And when you think you're done, this is like the roller coaster of heist, pretty much. When you think you're done, you go up, and then once you open, you see the sunlight. It's amazing and everything. You're then greeted with a bunch of murky water cops shooting at you, trying to stop you, and by the way, you have to carry all that loot. And there's also money piles in crates in the kind of whatever area you want to call it, the area, the sun area, you know, the platform areas. And you have to blow up satellite dishes, like so many things, and refuel the helicopter, you know, just so many things. And that's why this was was the best heist, or best DLC at its time. It probably still is. because of the amount of heists it gives. Though, of course, there is no stealth, it's still pretty dang cool as loud heists. And I've been talking a lot. So, moving on from those two heists, we get 2 tracks from Simon Vicklin. You've got, which I'm pretty sure, a Drop Zone and a Lock and Load. Pretty good tracks. I really love them. Moving on. I don't think they even show the melee weapons. 6 new songs added. Oh, so basically it's 2 from Simon and then 4, if I'm doing, 4 from the movie that are only for like menu. Next we have the Baby Deagle or the Jericho 94-1 or 941. I can't remember the full name, but I just know it as the Jericho. So the Jericho, probably one of the best pistols in the game, has a high damage, a lower brother to the Desert Eagle, but it seems like the Baby... I'm not going to call it the Baby Deagle because it's a stupid name. The Jericho, a better version of its upper tier Desert Eagle, but I think the Jericho is better anyways. So why does everybody love this gun? Well, it has a high damage, but it's just pretty much like a smaller Desert Eagle. There's nothing really much to go into it. But what do I personally love about it, you may ask? You see this here? See this little thing here? In game, there's Spike Kit and Spike Grip. These will make your gun look like the gun, the Jericho from Cowboy Bebop. I was sold. I was sold because I'm such a huge fan of Cowboy Bebop. This was the only reason to buy the DLC for me, because I wanted that gun. I wanted to use it, which I should probably start using it again. And everybody was freaking like saying, you know, the heists are good. I was like, I don't care. It's about that gun for me. Now the thing is that it's a whole package of great stuff. And then moving on from that, you get melee weapons, a selfie stick, another machete, pickaxe, and a small knife. You get Rhino, the Joker, Groot, and Weird Elf Lady. And then some achievements and patterns and all such stuff. But to also talk about, I just pulled on some cord, to also talk about the Bodie. Just a quick rundown. The Bodie, being a free update to the game, was also a great way of being like, hey, you get free and then you had to pay. Which, I mean, you can get both, but you're already gonna get both, or well, not, you're already gonna get one because it's free, but it was just a great addition to get a new sniper rifle that was actually one of the first free sniper rifles in the game. Stupid character. I don't like Bodie. He's a ripoff of Patrick Swayze Bodie. The all Bodie that we truly love. At least I do. And the perk deck, meh. But it was an alright DLC, or free content update, but it was the DLC that saved us. It was the prized jewel, and it just made us all smile, and it was like, what are we gonna get from the next DLC overkill? What is the next DLC? Well, kids, time for Goat Simulator. Goat Simulator. The Goat Simulator heist. What? You may be asking? Yes, this is in fact a real heist. A real DLC. If you thought the gay Chivalry Pack was bad, oh, this idea makes no sense. But this one was actually executed pretty good. What? You may be asking, not in that tone. You're probably just asking. You're probably like, can you just get on through the video? So, to talk about in the Goat Simulator DLC, what do we have for it? Well, we have a 1 day, or not a 1 day, a 2 day heist. Basically, the first day, you're going through a city, you gotta look for goats that contain cocaine that Vlad needs. Pretty sure this was the last one done by Vlad. Thank goodness. Nothing wrong with Vlad, just, Vlad, this was not your year. This was not your year. This is more of the year for the elephant, to be honest. But, moving on from that. The first day, you got, you know, the Longfellow, you gotta find goats in weird places, there's ATMs, and it's framing, but it's an enjoyable, kind of little neat first day. To the second day, and I almost pushed my mouse off, the second day is where we need to extract goats, and we put them in cages, and it's weird, but it's an alright heist. Moving on from that, Sam Vicklin, I don't want to listen to them. Nothing against Sam Vicklin. I love your music, but I don't know. There's just something off about them that I don't really like. They're all right, but it's just like something. It's not breaking like Code Silver or Breach and Security. Wink, wink. Please. Overkill. I just want No Mercy and Diamond Heist, please. Please. Moving on from that. We got the GSPS 12 gauge shotgun. Now, this shotgun is just a lowered down version of a locomotive. Still cool, and this is one of my favorite shotguns to use, even though I use the locomotive more. But yeah, it's a lower down version of the locomotive, but it's just like a cool little reskin, which I really like. Who cares? Achievements are not, I barely have any of these achievements. I don't have a single one. I don't think I have a single one of them. Oh, by the way, don't be fooled. There is a pro job. There's a total of 6 achievements actually. But the pro job achievement came after. But yeah, Goat Heist. It's an alright. It's an alright DLC. If you take the goats out of it, then it's a pretty good heist. Like if it was like something different, like I don't know, maybe robots, that would be better. But yeah. Oh, very, very funny, guys. Very funny. Very, very funny. Okay, well, that's just part 1, or episode 5, actually. We're going to be going into some, we're going to go into the Wolfpack, the Sydney, the Biker, and the Biker Heist DLCs in the next episode. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry if this mic setup is not the best, but it's what I got right now, so, yep. Outro. Woo.